Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Stretch and Flex for this evening. Any questions for the lives, please unmute yourself. Any questions for the people who are watching this recorded, please, by all means, just send me a message, not a problem. Hopefully everyone is feeling okay. I haven't had any direct complaints of anything in particular this evening, but I would like you to pause if you are watching this and go and grab a chair, because we're going to be starting off with a chair, which is here. So without further ado, let's make a start on this. So we're going to pretend to be office workers today and feel like we haven't really had a stretch all day, and we're going to use that chair to do such that. So first of all, I just want you to get comfortable in the chair and just make sure your feet are nice and flat on the floor. And then we're going to do a really nice standard roll. So your back doesn't need to be flat onto the back of the chair. You need to be slightly away from it, but your back, try to keep it nice and straight, or as straight as you can currently. That's it, rolling. And let's go the other way, rolling it around. That's it, and let's go one more. Wonderful. Okay, just set those shoulders down as far as they'll go down at the moment. We might need to work on that a little bit. And then what I'd like you to do is just look across. And when we're doing this, I want you to think, right, okay, I'm getting a nice stretch, but also my tummy is nice and tight, my back's nice and straight. And then bring it back to the center, looking through and the other way. Really nice stretch. Now it might be a little bit of a pop and a click by your ear, because you're stretching that tendon all the way down here. And then back to the center. And all the way across again. Again, it should be a nice big stretch all the way down there. And across one more time. Big stretch. Oh. If that's tight, that might be a little bit uncomfortable. Back to center. And I just want you to completely relax. So just go, oh, just sink back into the chair for a second and just give yourself a wriggle. So we'll reset. Shoulders back down. Tummy just engaged. I wouldn't say pulled in, but just engaged, and that back nice and straight. Right, okay, now we're going to look down. Now I want you to feel as if I've put a tiny bit of pressure on your shoulders. So I'm just behind you, adding a tiny bit of pressure. And that should feel like a fairly strong stretch right down at your neck and flowing into your shoulders. Now, you're just going to tiny little tilt. So you're looking past your leg. And then bring that back to center. And then tiny tilt the other way. Looking past the other leg. And let's do that one more time. So you're going through center, chin towards your shoulder that's down, through and back over. And back to center, lifting up, and again, take a deep breath in and sink back down. Oh, little wriggle, lovely. Reason to have a back of a chair, I'd say, just slump on it. Right, my absolute favorite, and we used to do this in class. We are going to do a nice deep breath in and then breathe it out. So scrunching your shoulders up, deep breath in, and again, breathe in. And if you were in the office, it'd just be hilarious. And and one more deep breath in. And lovely. Okay. Right, so let's take those stretches a little bit further. So hand up and over. Very nice. And then your other hand onto your shoulder. And then we're just going to peel them away from each other. That's it. Really nice. Or again, it might be a bit clicky, right by the ear. Quite strong, this one. Okay, just let go and your head will ping back up. Oh. Right, the other side, so hand up and over, opposite way, and then hand onto your shoulder and then just peel them away from each other. Try to be gentle with this one. Lovely, and let go. Ooh. Okay, Arms all the way up. Deep breath in. I'm going to clasp them together so it's just out of camera. Deep breath in. And relax it down, touching the chair, and all the way back up again. Deep breath. Oh, stretch, stretch, stretch. And relax back down again. Wonderful. Okay, now we're going to cross one leg over the other. So just push yourself back towards the chair now and just cross the legs. So it should be relatively comfortable how you would sit on a seat normally. So let's just have a little look at what the back's doing today. Might be a little bit stiff. So one hand over, tiny turn. Okay, so we're not grabbing hold of the back of the chair yet. Just tiny, tiny turn. You're looking over your shoulder. The other arm is down and loose, not doing anything in particular at the moment. And it's a very, very, very gentle twist. And gently bring that back to the center. And then we're going to cross the legs the other way. Exactly the same thing. So hand down and just do a nice little twist round. The other arm relaxed down. Deep breath. And back to center. Wonderful. Right, let's exaggerate that a little bit further. So I want you to uncross your legs, hand right over, and then you're going to actually, if you've got a back to the chair, which is of a certain height that you can do that, just take hold of it. Hopefully you can see that. That's it. And then you're going to twist a little bit further. So really use it to get a good old twist on the go here. So depending on how flexible you are, but just remember to keep your legs facing forwards. So we're not twisting the whole way, it's the top half. Get a really nice twist on the go there. Oh, and then untangle yourself from the chair and come back to the center. And then the same thing the other side. So hand over, use your knee just to counter it a little bit. And then you're going to reach right over. And then we're using that chair and twist. Oh, that's a good stretch, that one. Deep breath. And peel yourself back again on that one. Good. Right. That's that way. So let's have a little look at this way now. So hand onto the, sorry, I'm make myself equal. Hand onto the bottom of the chair if you can, if it hasn't got sides, and then up nice and tall first. And for God's sake, it's only a little one because you'll fall straight off the chair. Just both bum cheeks squarely on that chair still. I can't rescue you, so don't fall. And up and over. And then up nice and tall, holding onto the chair if you're able to, and then over. And let's go again, just because it's nice. All the way up, hold on to the chair, nice and tall first, lovely. And over. And then we're the other way up, nice and tall, and relax over. I feel that lovely stretch all the way down the sides. Fantastic. Bring yourself back to center. Okay, so now we are going to push ourselves a little bit further forward. So your feet are flat on the floor. And then we're going to do this plane. So hands onto your knees, and you're going to slide and curl all the way down. Hands onto the floor or near if you can, and drop your head and relax. Nice deep breath when you're down here. Really comfortable this should feel. And then just engage everything and roll and curl yourself back up. And then take a deep breath in when you're up here. And then we're going down again, all the way down. Drop and relax. And curling and rolling, curling and rolling, curling and rolling, all the way back up. Wonderful. Okay, now what I'd like to do is we're going to go the other way. So if you can just spin so you're not facing the back. And then I want you to arch nice and gently, really gently. Okay, so it's a little tiny arch, hands down by the side, and we'll hold on to the chair. And then come back to center, deep breath in. And then you're arching away again, really small arch. A little stretch on the back there and then back again. Wonderful. Okay, spinning that back around. Right, we'll work our way down a little bit. So let's have a little look at those hip flexors. We'll do some more work when we stood up. But if you can just bring your foot in, so foot onto the chair, and we're going to hold on. If your knee's feeling a little bit crunchy today, then hold underneath. But if your knee's fine, then we're holding over the top. And you're just going to pull that towards you and lift your foot off the chair. Now, if you're like, that's not happening, then you're down here. But if you can, just pull that nice and close. This is the equivalent of when we lie on the floor and pull that knee in. You can actually get that quite close in when you're up in this position. Take a deep breath in. Nice and tall with that back. And rest your ankle back on the floor if you can, or just, on the seat or onto the floor. Okay, we're going to re-grip. Take a deep breath in and pull in. That's it. Holding it there. Deep breath in. And back down. Wonderful. Okay, we're going to swap legs. So just gently put that one down. Rejig, put this one up. Again, if one knee is aggravating, you're going to take it underneath here. If we're all good, then we're holding that nice and tight. And then you're back against the seat if you can, and just pull that right towards you. Oh. If you have been sat down a lot today, that might be quite tight. Okay, and just rest that back on the chair if you can, or on the floor. Deep breath in, regather, and out breath lift. That's it, nice and tightly towards you. Hold it there, and back down, all the way down. Lovely. Okay, bringing the other one up, and you're going to put that on your leg. Again, if that's not really working today, then you can put a little bit lower. But if you can, we're going to put that foot up. Just be aware of your ankle and your knee. And then if you can, take hold of foot or ankle somewhere around here, and you're just going to push that knee down and away from you. If that's really uncomfortable here, then hold there and support your ankle and then push that down. And if you're like, Rebecca, it's bad enough trying to get my leg up here, then just hold it. You don't need to push it away. Now, please stay here. If you're like, no, that's bad enough, thank you. But if not, I want you to try and lift. So you're going to sort of cradle is the word. Cradle your leg and just lift that right up. And you should get a really good stretch around your hip. So keeping your back nice and straight. Please don't do that if it's actually very, very difficult to get your leg up in here in the first place. If you're feeling particularly bendy, then you can really get that right in there. Okay, bringing it down, and then you're going to release. Just give it a little jig. All right, other side. So you're just going to pick the foot up onto your quad, if you can, and then taking your ankle or your foot, and then we're going to push that away. Get a nice stretch around your hips. Being aware if that hurts your knee, don't do it. Lovely, and release. Okay, so the more advanced, we're just going to cradle that leg, bring the whole lot in. God, legs are heavy, aren't they? Oh, heavy legs. Bring that right in, get that stretch. Oh. And nice and gently release that down, and then bring your foot down. Wonderful. Right, okay, ankles and wrists. So let's start with the wrists. So we're going to roll. And again, possibly not many of you, but if you have been typing today, then we'll get that rolled out and then just give them a good old shake. Lovely. Right, same with the ankles. Now I'm just going to push myself back so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to lift one leg, and that is going to activate your quads slightly, but we're going to roll. If it's activating your quad too much, you're like, oh my God, my leg aches, just bring it down. Just as long as it's off the floor. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. We're just rolling the ankle. Poor abandoned feet. I've been working all day for you. I'm going to just pay them a tiny bit of attention, and the other way. That's it. Right, bringing that down, little shake, and the other side. So your quad has got to do something and activate there to keep you up. That is really clicky. That's disgusting. Oh. God, you can't hear that. And the other way. Ooh. That's it, it's gone. Good. Okay, and bring it down, little jig. Righty ho. So should be feeling nice, but I think there's a lot more to do. So now we're going to stand up, and we're going to bring ourselves round to the sides. I'm just going to move this so we can see. So we've got the back of your chair to use to balance, and we're going to put one foot on the chair, just making sure if you've got socks and a wooden chair, it doesn't slide. And then you're going to push forward and get that really nice, good old hip flexor stretch. Now, if there's absolutely no chance whatsoever that you can straighten that back leg, absolutely fine to bend it. If you can, you'll get more of a stretch if you straighten it. And if you want to lean on said chair and just feel nice and relaxed, or if you want to really, really not worry about balancing yourself, then just take your hand off the back. Really nice big stretch. We'll hold it down here. Back up straight. Oh, that's a strong one. That is a strong one. I like it. Okay, so using this quad and the back of the chair, you're going to lift back off. Lovely. Right, swap sides. Okay, foot on, just make sure that's nice and comfortable. The chair's not going to slide, and you're bringing it down. And again, if that leg needs to be bent, fine. If not, we're straightening it and really try and get that hip flexor. It's very, very lightly. The one's more tight than others. If you can see my leg, I'm really struggling to straighten it. It's quite a lot tighter than the other side. So I'm just going to very slightly bend it there until it's used to it and relaxes. And you should just feel it sort of sinking down. That's it. Okay, using your quad and the back of the chair coming back up. Lovely. Right, slight variation for your back of your legs. I'll change the camera if we need to. Hands down onto the seat, and then you're just going to push very slightly backwards and sit back. So hands right out, head in between your arms, relax, legs straight, back as straight as it can be. And really try and feel that right at the back of your legs, so your hamstrings, a little bit calves, but mainly hamstrings. Okay, breathe in and relax out of that slightly. And then breathe out. That's the one. Breathe in. Breathe out. And again. Hold it here. Lovely. And just, not that I want to get everyone out, that's so nice. Just curve your way, release the chair, and just curl your way up. Absolutely lovely. Right. Okay, a couple more movements. I want to use the chair, but we're not necessarily going to be sitting on it or anything along those lines. But before we move down onto the floor, I just wanted to do a little bit of balance work. So obviously you don't need to move your chair, but I will do so. So a little bit of hip movement out of here. So you're going to have to balance a little bit if you want to, or just use the back of the chair. We're going to swing out and back. Now again, your hips might feel a little bit clicky on this. Now, if you feel like your knee's being more clicky, then you just bend your knee that you're on. Okay, bringing it down, swapping legs, and rebalance, and bringing it across and away. If you don't need to use to balance, absolutely you don't have to, but the chair's there. Swing that away. And the more you swing that up, the stronger this stretch is. So, but to your level. And one more. Lovely. Okay, so we're coming forwards, and we're going to go forwards and backwards now. So again, using the chair to balance if you need to. forwards and backwards. So it's not some huge, like, ugh, just it's more that you're staying fairly upright and it's coming from your hip. And again, very likely to be quite clicky, especially if your hips are really tight. Okay, and we're swapping sides. So you might want to spin round, but I'll just have to move further away on the other side. And again, just bear in mind one side's likely to be a little bit stiffer than the other. Up and back. And let's go for one more. Wonderful. Okay, just give your legs a little shake out. Right, okay, so we're going to do a little bit of work further down now. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got a little bit of space, and I'm going to bring the camera right down. So if you want to do the same, so just again, make sure you've got enough of space behind you. And we're going to put our legs, so just bring yourself down, and we're going to rest our legs on the chair. So we're onto our backs and rest. I'll just give you a second to sort yourself on that. So just make sure you're comfortable. Now, very, very, very likely this is possibly the first time you've been on your back on the floor all day, maybe all week. So just give your back a second. And with your arms, I want you to bring your hands palms facing up, because it just relaxes your shoulder blades flat. So just make sure that feels comfortable. Just wriggle about if you need to. Your legs are resting very, very comfortably on the seat of your chair. Close your eyes if you want to, but please just give your back just a minute or so just to relax. Now, it can feel quite achy. It might, I hope not, but it might feel very slightly like it's about to spasm, and just breathe your way out of that. It will calm down. It just hasn't been flat on the floor. And the other thing you may feel is that your pelvis and your hips feel quite heavy. Again, it's just because I've flattened your back out, and it might not have been flat all day. So give yourself a second. Your legs should feel very, very relaxed, completely relaxed on the seat of the chair. So whilst we're here, I just want 3 really, really, really nice deep breaths. In through your nose and out through your mouth, and just take your time. And each time you breathe out, just really try and sink into the floor, and obviously where your legs are resting into the chair. And one more in your own time. Remember to sink. All right, now if your back didn't relax before, it should feel much more relaxed now, and so should you. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of movement here. Not that I really want you to move, because this feels really nice. So I want you to diamond shape. So we're going to diamond shape those legs, butterfly. So your feet should be resting, and then your knees out. So again, your bum should be fairly close to the chair, and just try to keep that quite relaxed. Your hands are going to reach onto your knees, and you're just going to push that out slightly. Again, just being aware of knees. If that feels uncomfortable, don't press on it. And just suggest that they come out a little bit further, and just use gravity. That should feel a little bit more comfortable than when we haven't got the chair. Lovely. Okay, just bringing those knees in together now. So your feet are on the chair, and your heels specifically are on the chair. Hand out to the side. And then what we're going to do is, and you may need to wriggle this closer to just make sure that you're comfortable. We're going to sweep past the chair and over. So we're going to bring those knees all the way down and relax, really try and relax your shoulders. Hold it here. Beautiful supine twist. Really nice deep breath. And again, deep breath in, and then you'll swing that over to meet the chair again. So come up. So you're going to find your heels back on the chair. Hold it back in the center for a minute, rejig yourself, and then you're going sweeping past the chair and bringing yourself down to the other side. Lovely. And if you get a click in that back, I hope so, because it feels good. Deep breath. Okay, and bringing yourself back up, use those oblique muscles, back to the chair again, bring back to center, rejig, and then we're going to come across again. All the way over, reach down. Now, if you want to add some strength to this, then you're going to straighten the top leg. If you absolutely don't want to, please don't, just stay where you are. It does make it quite a lot stronger. If you have straightened your leg, you're just holding onto your ankle. But just be careful not to pinch at the back. It can aggravate your sciatic nerve. We don't want to do that. Okay. If you have extended your leg, just bring that back to meet your feet, and then you're going to lift up and back over, and all the way over to the other side, just sweeping your feet past the chair and all the way down again. And again, you're relaxing here, or we're extending that leg and holding onto the ankle. Just make sure that those shoulders are at least attempting to stay on the floor. Nice deep breath. And you're going to rejoin feet to feet and lift back up again. Lovely. Right, so feet back on. You might need just to rearrange the chair slightly. So we're going to do some nice little pelvic tilts, and just activate the glutes very slightly, but it should feel more like a pelvic stretch out than anything else. So your feet are nice and relaxed onto the chair, and then I've put that marble onto your belly button again. So marble onto the belly button, and you're going to push your heels down into the chair and tilt your pelvis towards you. And then that marble is going to come all the way down, and then you're going to arch your back and relax. So we're just going to work our way through this again. So just use the chair to create a little bit of pressure, the heels and your shins and calves on the chair. Tilt that marble all the way up and down, and just work your way through. It should feel really nice, if not quite strong. Just squeeze your glutes very slightly, just activate them. And all the way up and through and down. And wherever you are, we're just going to do one more cycle. So either up or down. Squeeze and release. And bring it back to center. Wonderful. Right. And a nice little one for your spine. So if you want, please be careful on this one, because if the chair will move, then it might be better to put it against a wall. But we're going to lift up a little bit more. So I'm hoping my chair doesn't move. If not, I'll have to move myself. So you've got your feet on the edge of the chair, and then we're going to come up into a glute bridge, and then we're going to bring your arms over, and you should get quite a good stretch on your, yeah, it is going to move. Just give me a second. There we go. Okay, right. So we're going to curl ourselves up. That's it. And then arms over, holding it here, and roll really slowly down. Oh, I got a click. Hurrah. And all the way down. Oh. And bring your arms down to your sides and just relax. Okay, let's do that again. Oh, tell you what, surefire way of getting a click, that one. Roll it up, all the way up. You do have to use your legs and your glutes a little bit on this one. Lift it up, arms back over. I'm not specifically asking you to squeeze your glutes too much. and then roll, roll, roll. Feel your vertebrae going click, 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 click. Oh, that's better. All the way down and arms down to meet. Wonderful. Okay, just whilst we're here, just rest one foot or leg onto the chair and then just bring one in. And we're going to stretch that. So we've done a version of this seated. This one's a little bit stronger. So if you're like, that's not too bad, then come slightly to the side and you can just bring that much further in. Because your leg's rested, it's not quite as exaggerated than if it was on the floor. So you can bring that right to the side. Can you see that? Or just in front of you, it doesn't matter, as long as you're feeling a stretch. Okay, and just bring that back again, and we're going to rest the other leg and then bring the other one in. So again, it can be just in here, or if you want to exaggerate that, it's just out to the side and you should get a stronger stretch. Lovely. Okay, and back in. Right, if we can, the only way it's not elegant is just to fall to the side. So you can't roll yourself up because the chair's in the way. So just fall yourself really beautifully and elegantly to the side. And then we're going to use the chair in a different way. So I'm just going to maneuver this so I'm in view of the camera. Okay. So now we are facing our chairs. That's it. And we're going to do a very specific shoulder stretch, which we've done a little bit of, but I want to do a bit more of a concentration on. So using the seat of your chair, I just want you to inch backwards, and then we're going to sit right down. So this sort of is a child's pose, but it's a little bit stronger. So hands and possibly wrists should be resting, and you are right down. You should feel when you drop your head through, that should be quite a strong stretch. Deep breath in, and then sink that down. Keep going. Deep breath. And sink. Oh, that is good. And one more. And sink. Lovely. Just roll your way out of that. Wonderful. Okay, so for the last few bits, we are going to lose the chair, but just going to use it to come back up. So bring yourself onto your toes on here. And then we're going to bring our forehead to the chair and then roll yourself up. So down, roll yourself up. And then we're going to roll up and away from the chair. Lovely. Arms all the way up. Nice deep breath. Sorry, you can't see that. And relax. Lovely. Right. So let's lose the chair. And for the last few bits, we're just going to do some without. I'll just completely change this as well. It's a little bit low. Wonderful. Right, hopefully everyone's all right. So let's just finish with some really nice roll downs. I want to do a couple of versions of this. Sorry, I do know my head's chopped off, but I'm just about to bend over. So arms all the way up. And we're going to start with a nice traditional roll down. So arms down, chin to chest, and rolling it down. Curl it down, curl it down. Ugh. Don't get muddled up in your own hood. And then rest down. Holding it there. Okay, and let's roll it back up. Now, we're going to do a variant of that. So just stack, 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 stack. Arms up, lift. Deep breath and relax. If you just give me 1 second, I'll just get rid of this, otherwise it's going to keep doing that. Right, okay. So the next one, we're going to curve as if you're going over a ball. So the best way to describe this is if you've got a Swiss ball, if you were holding on to a Swiss ball, how would this look? So if you start with your arms up, and then you're going to curl, and just think, I've put a Swiss ball in here. So you're going to curl down like a cat curl, and you're going to touch your shins, and then you're going to curl and keep that back in. Can you see the difference? Curl that back up and all the way back up. A little bit stronger, this one on the shoulders and upper back. Let's do that again. So you've got hold of the Swiss ball, you're curling it down. Legs remain straight. Try and stay in that little sort of cat tap and curl, curl, curl back up and all the way to the top. Lovely, and arms down. Right, the next one we're going to do is sort of a rag doll. So we're going to come up and then flop. But for goodness sake, don't hit your head on your knees. That's not nice. So arms all the way up. Deep breath and then flop. And you're just going to bend your knees slightly and you're going to feel like a rag doll, and then curl it back up, straightening your legs on the way up. Let's do that a few times. It's a little bit quicker, that one. Arms all the way up, deep breath in, and relax down. It's a little bit more yoga, this one. All the way up. And let's go one more time. You know what I mean about not hitting your head now. Deep breath. And flop down and roll it up. Lovely. Right, last one, we're just going to do a little few movements down and then we will finish. So arms all the way up. Okay, straightening our back this time. Until the last minute, straight back, and then flop down. Right, taking your hands on the creases of your elbows, we're just going to drop that head in the little square that you've just made, and then we're going to just semicircle round from one side to the other. And feel that back just twisting, and feel your shoulders just really lengthening at the back. Just, you should feel, once we finish this, that you are lower to the floor. Okay, just stop the semicircles, and you're just going to do little tiny swings with your arms. Tiny swings, and you should feel your shoulders going, ugh. Use the weight of your arms, stopping the swinging, and then when you let go, whoa, we lower. Hurrah. Deep breathing down here. Now, final one, this is definitely optional because it's a bit stronger. Put your hands behind, and then you're going to just squeeze. And this is a little bit stronger right by the back of those legs. Please only do this if you want to, quite strong. Oh, big stretch. And release, and then we're rolling up. Oh, ha, ha, ha. And one final big stretch up. And release down. Wonderful. Okay, finishing as normal. Excuse me. Oh, it wouldn't just wait 2 minutes, would it? Oh, right. Hip width apart, bringing it down and all the way up onto our toes. Squeeze, lift, and back down. Let's go for 2 more. If you're feeling brave, close those eyes. I'm not feeling brave today, definitely not. And lift, and 1 more. Sweep, sweep, sweep. Beautiful lift and control. 2, 1, and down. Wonderful. Thank you very, very much, everyone. Hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you next